Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this adorable love sign for your home decor for Valentine's Day in spring. Stick around and I'll show you how to make it. For today's DIY project, you're going to need an art frame of your choice. This is one that I already had from a previous project and I had already painted it a bright white, but we're going to be changing that color later on in the video. It is an 8x10 frame, and so whatever size you decide to use, you're going to need a small canvas. This one I got at Michael's in a bulk pack. If you don't have a stretch canvas, you can also just cut a piece of thin scrap wood, like a 1/4-inch plywood, or anything that would fit in the frame. And then I got this adorable little love sign from Dollar General for only $2. It fits perfectly in the frame, and we're going to be staining it later. Now I'm just going to show you an option if you wanted to do a little farmhouse look or bring in a natural element for spring. You can use these moss sheets. They are from the Dollar Tree. I decided not to use those in this project, but that is an option for you. And you'll need a paintbrush. This is my favorite brush of all time. And then you're going to need paint of your choice. I'm using Waverly chalk paint from Walmart in Truffle, which is a dark brown, so any color you have will work. And 3 white tones, Ivory, Cashew, and Plaster. And they are also from Walmart. And a paper plate from the Dollar Tree. Okay, so to get started, we are just going to coat our frame with the darkest color, which is Truffle. You can use any color that you have, anything that fits your decor. Now, this project is essentially for Valentine's Day, but it can carry on through spring. So whatever color suits your home decor, use the darkest color as your base coat. This chalk paint dries really quickly, so you're able to do the whole project in just a short period of time. If you have more cool tones in your house, or you're going for a farmhouse look or feel, and you like the grays and whites and neutral tones, you can do a gray as a base coat. You could use black. If you have more color and you want to go more toward the spring side of it, you could do a dark green as the base coat, and you could do the love sign in a different color, a neutral color. You could paint it or stain it a lighter tone. The options are really endless with this project, and it makes such a really nice custom look for signs. I love all the little farmhouse signs that are out, but they don't necessarily go with my decor, and that's why I'm making this one. I really love French country, a little bit more elegant, a little bit more of an elegant look, I guess I should say, in my house. I do like to mix some things in, and country, my version of country decor is more of a French country look. I love all the rustic finishes, chippy paint. After you have the base coat, you want to take your next color, which in this case for me, it's Cashew. Now while the paint is still wet, I'm just going to go ahead and brush it on. And this stage of painting the frame is going to allow the paint to blend. The next coats, we're going to allow the paint to dry first, so that we get more of a dry brush effect. But for this, I just want to go ahead and lighten that base coat in most of the areas with this Cashew paint. It really lightens it up and starts to bring out some of the character in the frame and show a lot more of the depth. Now that the frame is drying for a little bit, I'm going to get out these acrylic paints that I got at Walmart. It was a really large set for maybe $10. I can't really remember, but I'm going to be using this pale pink color and some of the oranges and darker pinks, some of the reds to mix so that I can get sort of a coral color, which is the look that I'm going for. It's going to match the flowers that I got from Michael's, which I'll show you later on in the video. So first I'm just going to coat this with some of the plaster chalk paint from Waverly that I got at Walmart. Just kind of base coat it just really quickly so that I can blend in these other colors. And I'm using these chip brushes. They're really cheap. You can get them anywhere. I get mine from Lowe's. Now I'm just going to bring in some of that pale pink and start blending it in with the white. I kind of want it to fade out toward the edges. This is going to give it more of a vintage, faded, aged look, which is really what I'm going after for this project. Again, you can use any colors or tones that fit your home decor. You could do a neutral tone on the canvas and paint the love sign. I am just choosing to do this pale pink color with some coral mixed in. I'm just mixing some of the red and the pink to get sort of a coral color. You could do the canvas a solid color if you wanted to. I just like the look of the faded pinks. They kind of mimic the color that's in the flowers that I'm going to be showing you later and using with this sign. This is a drag brush technique. I use it all the time. I love using these brushes. They just give such a unique texture and look to projects. I use them all the time on furniture, which I'll be doing some videos on how to refinish furniture and some paint techniques later on. Okay, I'm just going to darken this up a little bit. I want to add a little bit more depth to the canvas. And again, this goes with my type of home decor. If you are into a little bit more modern look, or you wanted a little bit more of a farmhouse look, or whatever it is that your home decor is now, you need to blend the colors that you like on the canvas. You can literally do any color, any shades. You can mix this up however you want. You can paint the frame any color you want in the canvas and still do the love sign on top. It doesn't have to be for Valentine's Day, but that's what I'm using it for. Okay, so now we're going to stain the love sign. I tested a few different colors and I ended up with the honey color from Minwax. This little piece is so light that it took the stain really dark, like a really dark color. It almost looks like I used dark walnut on the sign, but it is honey. So I tested a few colors on the back and ended up using this one. And that's a good idea for you too. Whatever stains you have on hand, go ahead and give them a test on the back because you're not going to see it. And I just love the way that this brings out the grain on this little sign. It makes it look so much more expensive and custom and like something you would see maybe in Hobby Lobby or somewhere like that. It's so cute. Now you want to make sure you lift the sign up and get stain all around the edges for a finished look. Okay, now we're back to the frame. While the other two pieces are drying, you want to take more of the cashew color or any of the colors that you decide to use and start going back over your frame with the drag brush technique. You can use more or less paint. I am opting to load my brush a little bit heavier than a dry brush technique and just drag it across the raised areas. And I just go until I like what I see. And the great thing about paint is if you don't like it, you can always go back over it. I just love painting and I love the flexibility that you have with creating different looks. Now this frame is not made of solid wood. Normally, I always try to buy wood frames because I like to be able to sand and distress them afterwards so you can see some of that wood grain coming through. But this is made from particle board or something like that. So we're just creating texture and depth with paint. I'm just going back over it with one of the lighter colors than cashew. I think this is ivory that I'm using. you can really see how the depth and texture is coming out on this frame. It's starting to look really good. You don't have to do all of these steps. It's just what I like to do because I really like a layered, textured look with lots of different dimensions and colors. So it's just personal preference. Okay, next I have decided to put some decorative glaze. I'm using Rust-Oleum and Java Brown. Now, if you wanted to use chalk paint and then use a wax, you can do that as well. You would want to use a clear wax first and then the dark wax. Now, what I did here, because I didn't clear coat the frame first, when I apply the brown glaze, it's going to darken all of the paint that I put on. And so that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted a more aged look. So I wanted it to darken some of the paint. And then later I go back and lighten it up some with some more layers of lighter paint. So it just depends what you want, but this is how you get the look that I have achieved on this project, which you'll see at the end of the video. You just want to put a good layer on there, get in all the cracks and crevices really well, and then wipe off any excess and blend it in where you want to blend it in and leave it darker where you want to leave it. It really makes the frame come to life and gives that vintage aged look that I'm after for this project. And I'm just using a paper towel. You can use any soft cloth, but I just use good quality paper towels to wipe it down. And just keep repeating the process until you are happy with the look of the glaze. And you could leave it this way. You could leave it darker like this, but I have decided to go back with my lighter paint and add some highlights back in there. Just kind of dry brushing the raised areas so it really brings those to the forefront. It adds a lot of depth and character. Again, you can do this as much or as little as you want, or you can skip it all together. And once I'm seeing the lighter paint on here, I'm really liking it. So I do want to lighten it up a good bit, but you're still going to see the dark truffle color underneath, and then you're going to see the glazed paint areas as well. And then you're going to see this really pretty highlighted color in the ivory and plaster that I put on the top. I really think it's starting to look good, and I'm almost where I want to be with the frame. I think it's really going to complement the canvas. I'm just going to keep adding until I'm happy with it. And now I have decided to add a little bit of that glaze to the canvas to age and soften it. And I'm just going to add a little bit on the edges and then blend it in with the paper towel. As you can see, it's just kind of giving it more of that vintage look. I really like it, and it really looks good with the stained wood of the love sign. It's going to make that stand out more. And just add as much or as little as you want. Okay, now I think I'm just going to check and see how I like it with the frame. And add in the love sign. It's a tight fit. And I think it is just adorable. Okay, so to secure the canvas to the frame, I just used some thin panel nails on the back and tapped it into the frame and then bent them over to secure it. That way I can easily switch it out with the seasons. I can do a Christmas canvas or St. Patrick's Day or any other season. And then I just decided to use hot glue since this sign is so lightweight. And the glue actually works really well. So just put some hot glue on the back. And now you don't want to press too hard on the canvas because it isn't really solid. If you decided to use a piece of thin plywood instead of a canvas frame, you could press a little bit harder but just be really careful. And I'm just going to press it in. And I just think it looks so cute. And that is the finished project. And I think it really looks like something you would pay a lot more than a few dollars for, which is really all we have in this project. I just love it, and I think it's adorable. Now, I wanted to show you these flowers, which were the inspiration for the colors of my canvas. These are from Michaels, and they're really pretty. They're blush colors, a little bit of coral, and they were $4. I got them buy one, get one free, so this little bundle was only $2. And they're just really pretty. And then I wanted to show you the ones that I got from Dollar Tree. The pink ones are the ones that I got from Dollar Tree, so obviously for $1. So for $1, you are going to get this little bunch. I guess that's crocus. And so you have 4 buds. The leaves are a good bit brighter green than the ones from Michaels. Now, in my personal opinion, if you can get a sale at Michaels, then it would be a better buy because for $2, to me, they look a little more realistic. The green is a little bit more natural looking to me. The leaves aren't quite as shiny. The petals are a little bit nicer, which you can see a little bit better in person. Both look really great, but I just really like the ones from Michaels. And here is the sign in my little 3-tiered plant stand in my kitchen. I got this little bird at Hobby Lobby. It was $15.99, I believe, but it was 50% off. So I actually got 2 of them for $15.99. And then there's the little sign and the flowers. And this picture is actually vintage false-graph. And it's actually a little teapot, and I have the coffee pot as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.